Oh, hold on, guys. There we go. On today's episode of Still Up Sports, on episode 22, guys, we are recapping the first week of training camp. It's been a quiet weekend. We stepped aside. We were working some extra overtime. Got a big trip in Denver planned, guys, so we were working a little harder for that. My name's Cody Chapa. Welcome to Still Up Sports, guys. We normalize late night sports talk, your Denver Broncos especially, but we also get into other sports as well, guys. So feel free, if you want to talk about anything, let me know. But please do me a favor and come over here. We're at 131 on YouTube, guys. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you're feeling. Hello. Hope you're having a great day. Hi, how are you? Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you for showing up. Here at Still Up Sports, guys, you don't have to like sports if you don't want to. You can just subscribe and turn the notification off if you don't want to. But I talk about sports. You don't have to like sports if you don't want to. Help me reach 500. When I reach 500, guys, we're going to make sure that we do some skydiving. So we're going to skydive for you guys when we reach 500 subs. And here we are. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. My name's Cody Chapa. We talk about the Denver Broncos. Yes, we are still up. We're always still up. We went in with a cold open, no music, no nothing. I hope the music, at least the intro audio played. I hope that played. We've been having some audio issues, some technical difficulties. StreamYard has been given some people problems recently. And I haven't experienced that particularly, but I have been experiencing some audio issues. So if you hear anything, let me know. Oh, I love pickleball too. Pickleball's fun. I love to play pickleball. Pickleball is fun. Maybe when I'm in my like 60 plus age range, maybe I'll stop so I don't break a hip. Because if you look at the statistics, guys, when you play pickleball and you're in your 60s plus, there's a lot of injuries that happen from that. All right, guys. All that pickleball talk aside, I'm gonna let this go for a second. Let's see, people trickle in real quick. We're gonna let this go and let some people hop in for a second before we start talking. But what we're going to talk about today is we're going to be talking about Denver Broncos training camp, the first week. We had a big interview with Luka Evans. Go back and check it out. Let me pull it back up, and I'll show you the YouTube page real quick. So here you are right here on Still Up Sports. Go check us out. We have late night, background music. So if you love yourself some dubstep, or let me change it. Yeah, if you love some dubstep lo-fi, or if you love some jazz or some hip hop, we've been doing that as a playlist. So go check it out. It would be the Late Night Vibes with Still Up Sports podcast, playlist. Go check that out. And if you were to check out the interviews that we've done recently, we just dropped that Luka Evans interview. It's at 61 views. That's awesome. Luka was so gracious with his time. Luka is currently going to be moving on to the San Francisco Chronicle from the Denver Post, guys. Luka spent just like a year and a half with the team, and he became such a big fan favorite. And I was incredibly grateful to get him to talk about. Not only did he talk a little bit about the Broncos and all that, and even talking about Steve Kerr and going to the Warriors, but I was happy to talk to Luka about Luka so we can learn a little bit more about this guy that we all loved. Luka did some great reporting at the Denver Post, guys. So again, here we are. Check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, guys. We're on all of them, guys. Hold on. Boom. All right, so we're on TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube, guys. But especially check out that Luka Evans interview. Luka is great. He's going to be covering the the Golden State Warriors. So he'll be on the Warriors beat now. So keep an eye out for that. If you like the Golden State Warriors, you're going to be hearing Luka Evans from the San Francisco Chronicle. You're going to be hearing him, and you're going to get to know him. He did great in Denver. And I'm just so grateful for Luka's time. Another bit of big news, guys. I have another show coming out tomorrow. It is a bi-weekly show. It is with our fantasy fools, our fantasy bros, aka these guys right here. You see them right here, Stefan and Jeff, Superchargers Pod, and Jeff, Raider Jeff, as I call him. We got a new show coming out. It's going to be bi-weekly during the seasonal. It's only seasonal. So this show, it's only going to be a seasonal show, and it will be every 2 weeks. So once every 2 weeks, we will be tapping in with Jeff. Yes, absolutely. It was great to talk to Luka because Luka did so much in his little time with the beat, and he made the most of it. And I'm just grateful for him to give me his time like that, and give my random, shot in the dark DM a chance. Hey, Martin, I appreciate you. Hope you're having a wonderful night, guys. Again, welcome to Still Up Sports. We bring you late night sports talk, guys. This is our time of the night. I'm grateful to have you stay up, Martin. Thank you for popping up and being still up with us. We continue to grow this late night base. To stream after midnight Mountain Time is really difficult in terms of trying to grow that base. And the fact that we are going live right now at 2 a.m. Mountain Time, 2:03 a.m. Mountain Time, guys, is big because we're trying to fill this gap and provide a great source of live, late night, engaging sports talk for all the sports fans, especially Broncos fans, because we're filling the gap between the traditional media that may stop when it gets to midnight, and then the media that starts at 5 a.m. We're here to help you fill that gap. We're only going to keep getting better. Some of you may know me from doing 24-hour streams this off season. I've done multiple 24-hour streams, and that was fun. Yeah, Martin, it's going to be really fun. Jeff is taking the lead on this, and that's because Jeff has a lot of experience, and Jeff's taking the lead in a lot of like the producing and the promotion and stuff. And I got a lot of stuff right here on my phone right now. Big news, guys. Also, Martin, if you're interested, you can DM me separately, but I've always said it, stickers are free. I have a bunch of stickers from the original logo. They're all free. I actually am going to have some stickers coming soon. I'm going to order some stickers again soon with the proper brand new logo. And when I do that, I'm probably going to order some magnets too. So if in the future, Martin, if you want some stickers and maybe a magnet or two, just reach out to me personally and I'll make sure I can get those to you. Because I'm working on getting some new stickers and new magnets. Sticky Brand is awesome. I'll give them their credit because they're who's made my stickers. And I may have rushed to conclusion at first with making my stickers before I even had a great logo. I just went with the original logo. But I've always said it before. I haven't said it in a good few pods, but stickers are always free from that first batch, especially. In the future, when I make sticker packs, I'll put them up for sale, and they'll only be like $5 or $10. But Martin, you're here, you're riding with us. I got you on some free stickers and a free magnet or two when I get those new stickers and I get those new magnets made. And I'll include some of the old stickers as well. Just reach out personally. When that time comes, I'll get them to you because you've earned them. You get them for free. But down the line, that's something I want to do is I want to sell the little sticker packs for $5 or $10 and put that towards the channel until we're monetized. It's a way to help us in the future, but we're not worried about that right now. That's why we covered, and it's been a quiet weekend. I posted on X. I should have posted on Instagram as well, but it was going to be a quiet weekend from us because we took more overtime. We did this last weekend. We took it again this weekend just because we're really preparing for this trip in Denver. A lot of stuff we're going to do. Chances are I might be there for a part of it solo, and I'm going to need to make sure that financially I'm good when I'm out there and I'm ahead of everything. So that's why I worked a little bit of overtime this weekend. And that's why we came on at, a little bit like 30 minutes later than I normally do. And that's just because I had to get home and there's some stuff I had to take care of. But we're here. I'm not taking any more overtime in the future, guys. No overtime in the future because I'm going to make sure I'm here for the weekends. So some channel news before we dive into stuff. Our topics for tonight are going to be, camp thoughts and stuff as well as injuries. But we got some channel stuff as well. I was saying, we have a show coming out with Jeff and Stefan, of Superchargers Pod and, 401 Raider Jeff. We have a show coming out with them. It's going to be bi-weekly, and it's only going to be during the season. Besides that, when our teams play against each other, we will show up. But I will tell you what this is going to be about because I've talked with Jeff and Stefan today, and we were talking about the format for how this show's going to go. And it's not a traditional AFC West type show because it's not frequent, first of all. Second of all, these are our fantasy guys, our fantasy bros. So there's already some beef there with the fantasy stuff, and it's friendly beef. But how it's going to go is it's going to be just a lot of trash talking. There may be some takes in there, but we're going to go back and it's going to be some pretty friendly banter because we can't find a Chiefs fan to step up and fill the hole. The Chiefs do not get represented, and we're calling it AFC West Fools because we're going to act like fools on that show. Besides that, we could not find. Well, let me get this. This is what happens when you let the cat touch the microphone. You get a hair on the microphone. Sorry, guys, if you have to hear me, but that's what happens when the cat touches the mic. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. We're going to really dive in. Jeff's taking the lead on the producing, and he's taking the lead on just like a bunch of it. And then I think Stefan's jumping in with the thumbnail and all that. They know that I've had a lot on my plate, and they've done a lot to make sure that I can do as minimal as I need to in the beginning with this because I am smaller than both of them. And the point of what we're doing is it's not even going to be a separate channel. It's going to be all of our channels just collabing. So we don't have to do it as a separate channel. And that way we can kind of spread the wealth in terms of like views and subs to try to boost each other up. Because Jeff is like 3K pushing 4K. Supercharger Pod is pushing 1,000. And then you got me, I'm at 132 right now, 133, 132, I believe. Yeah, so we're sitting at 132 right now, which is incredible. You know, thank you to our friend up here. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Drop your comments or questions below. We're going to be talking about Broncos camp the first week. Camp begins again today. They had Sunday off, so later today, the boys will be hitting the field again, and we'll see how some of these injuries play out. And when we get in there, we'll talk about it because some of these guys, we don't have an update until, you know, when they hit the field today or if they hit the field today. This is when we'll get an update on a few of those guys. Besides that, again, check out that Luca Evans interview. It was great. Love talking to Luca. We're going to have another beat reporter on after training camp. We've already talked to him. We're going to just set it up whenever it works for him. Like I offered with Luca, I told Luca, you know, these are the days that works best for me, but if you need it any other time, I will make myself available. Same with this guy. So stay tuned because we got another beat reporter that we're going to be interviewing, but after camp. So we're going to be interviewing another beat reporter. I'm sticking to it with trying to keep these interviews rolling. Sometimes we're going to get left on red, which we have been by a few notable people, which is okay. But we're going to keep at it, and we're going to keep stacking these interviews. And we're going to, even if we have to bring back some of our friends too, because I think Jay Weaver and I were itching to talk more Jonah Coleman. There's some people out there kind of taking shots at Jonah, whereas you have the coaching staff and you have Sean Payton defending Jonah, saying that Jonah's looking good. Jonah's also looking like an active blocker. I don't want to get too much into it because I do have a little bit of Jonah Coleman notes in here. But, you know, on Saturday, he actually scored a touchdown. You know, he was having some good runs up the middle. You know, not too much, but, you know, just, you know, people need to keep their eye out for Jonah because there's some people out there in Broncos media like Cecil Lammey. You know, Cecil Lammey's big on Jonah. I'm big on him too. I think that if you pull JK out because of injury, I don't think you see a drop off in the production, whereas some people think you will. I don't think that you will. Again, guys, we're going to get into these topics in a few minutes. Like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to help me out. We're here on Still Up Sports, guys. Come like, comment, subscribe. You know, we're at 132. You know, any bit of help, you know, any sub helps. You know, we're trying to get to 500 normalized late night sports talk. You know, we're going to get into these topics in a second. Besides that, again, here's the Goonsville. You see me rocking the Goonsville, guys. You see me rocking this Goonsville, the Greek Goonsville right now. It's right here. It looks great. I'm always rocking the Goonsville, guys. You'll never catch me without rocking it. I'm not even paid. I'm not a paid sponsor. Goonsville is just family, so we give Goonsville all the love. Go check out Goonsville. You never know who's going to be rocking Goonsville, guys. Go check out the catalog. I've already built a cart again, so I'm going to have to wait. But I built a cart out already because I already want more Goonsville. But Goonsville is just so clean. Colorado-based company. We're going to get Petros back on the show at one point. Yeah, Coleman is one of those players I'm really excited, looking forward to in this Friday's preseason game. Exactly. I'm really excited to see what Coleman can do in preseason. and we'll maybe before we end the show, we'll get a little bit into preseason. And like, do we expect the starters, or how much do we expect the starters to play in the first in that first preseason game? Because they're probably not playing in the third. So my guess is, we'll just say it right now. In terms of this preseason game, guys, yeah, go check out Goonsville again. I didn't finish that ad read, but you see me, I'm rocking the same Greek shirt right now. Go check it out. Let me pull me up. All right. So in terms of this preseason, guys, I think that with your starters in particular, maybe just like 1 or 2 drives, 1 or 2 possessions for this game. And then the next game, maybe you give them, depending on who gets the ball first, maybe you give them like almost, a quarter and a half, almost a half a game. I don't know. It all depends on who gets the ball first or whatever. I don't want the starters getting too much reps, but you got to get them some reps. If you want to start fast, you got to get them going early and get these reps still. And most likely, not many vets are going to be playing in game 3. So, if anything, go maybe 2 or 3 possessions with the starters in week 1 of the preseason, and then maybe I say a quarter to a whole half in the second preseason game. After that, I don't think you need to play a single starter in the third preseason game. Man, I was about to say the 4th preseason game. Those were the days when we had 4 preseason games. All right, guys. We're gonna get into camp and our takeaways first before we get into the injuries, because there's been some injuries. There's a lot to get into with that. Hey, you gonna behave? Come here. He wants to go out. Let me let the kitty cat out. Hold on. All right. So the kitty cat's out. What we were trying to say, guys, is we're going to get into these these discussions, and so there's some big things coming out of camp. We're going to stay away from the injuries, and then we'll get into them after. Something that's big, let's see, of course, Bo's looking good, healthy, sharp. Ankle's looking great. He's moving on it. I'm not worried about the ankle. I think that's going to be a constant reoccurring subject. No need to worry about the ankle right now. Besides that, guys, if we're skipping Bo Nix, in this, and I don't think it's not like fair to skip Bo Nix in this discussion, but I tend to think that almost all discussions end up being about Bo Nix, and this is why I want to dive into something else. And in particular, this is why, like, we got some few subjects that we're going to talk about, like Pat Bryant, Riley Moss. Those are great subjects right there. Another one, no JFM drop off on that defensive line. You got Annie, and you got Roach just filling that spot perfectly fine. Not one bit of drop off. Not one bit of drop off from him from that. Again, we got Coleman notes on here. We'll just go through each subject, and we'll start with Pat Bryant. I think Pat Bryant's a good one to start with. Hi, sweet lady. All right. So in terms of Pat Bryant, guys, he's looking good. He's coming up with these contested catches. He's catching everything. Apparently, he's gotten better routes. Like, he's gotten his route runnings even improved. So the fact that his route running is improved, and he already had some pretty sharp route running last year. Again, he's doing better with that yak, and he was already good with getting more yards after the catch. So that's pretty cool. Again, if he can win these contested catches, he's hitting these back shoulder fades. We've been talking about, or some people have been talking about, Bo and his back shoulders that he's been throwing. Pat Bryant's one of those guys that's been getting these back shoulder passes. And if you think about what you want with Pat, if Pat Bryant can be your wide receiver 1 or 2, even if he is at the wide receiver, like, let's say Waddle's your wide receiver 1 for the next 2-3 years to come. I'm not saying that Waddle is Julio Jones, but I think that Pat Bryant can be a great Roddy White in this case, if that makes sense. I think Pat Bryant can become wide receiver 2, maybe even wide receiver 1 at one point. I just think that with Waddle on this team, no matter what, we can't talk about him being wide receiver one. I don't think that's going to happen with Waddle on this team. But I do think that he can grow into that pure wide receiver too. I think he could be the Roddy White to Jalen Waddle's Julio, if that makes sense. I think that it would work out really well. Roddy White, great blocker. Great blocker. Man knew how to get open. He reminds me a little bit, not full all the way, but there's some things of Roddy White that I see in Pat Bryant in terms of just like the reliability in the blocking, the reliability that he's going to make the catch, the reliability that he'll make the catch and keep going. So I like to see. I think there's some comparison there. Maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong. And we'll get right into Coleman right now, actually, too, right after we go from Pat Bryant. We'll go Pat Bryant, Coleman, and then we'll get into Riley Moss, too. But again, with Pat Bryant, guys, if he can take this step and stay healthy, we're all worried about the concussions. When I asked Mario, I talked to Mario. Mario is not concerned. He's more worried about like soft tissue stuff like that. And I understand. And I respect everything Mario said. And I agree with him. But part of me just is, we see too much of this stuff in the league where guys get concussions and it's just brutal or it's horrible. And it truly has me a little worried for Pat and, his long-term success and his health. I hope he keeps wearing, the Guardian cap. I hope that he stays healthy, because if Pat Bryant stays healthy, guys, he's easily wide receiver 2 within a year or two. Easily. Depends on how long Cortland lingers around. And I love Cortland to death, but I think he's only going to linger around on this team 1-2 years before he's truly pushed out, because there's so much wide receiver talent. And we could get into, if we think that these wide receivers are tradable, who's tradable. There's also a very fair discussion to say none of them are getting traded either, because of the fact that Cortland may be on his way out in the next year or two. There's a fact that, I mean, Marvin might be on his way out if they don't pay him, but you guys know what I mean. I think there's a fair argument that, as much as people want to make the argument that you can trade one of these receivers, I think you can easily make that same argument that you don't need to trade them at all, or that you don't want to trade them. Yeah, guys, again, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything on your mind. Go ahead, comment, subscribe, let me know. Let's talk. I want to know how you guys are doing and what's on your mind, all right? Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, guys, if there's anything on your mind, I answer your questions too. I'm very engaging. I'll answer all your questions. We do this always after midnight. I honestly like starting past 1 a.m. because it's truly there for the late night crowd. Plenty of people are up at midnight. Not many people are up after, and I try to make sure that this is designated towards the late night crowd first. Yeah, I worry about Pat and the concussions also. Yeah, but I think about Olave a year or two ago with concussions, and he was healthy all of last season. That's the thing, Martin, and that's a great comparison. I was talking about Roddy White. I was not at one point comparing health in that situation. I just think that with Jalen Waddle being the wide receiver 1 of the future, I think that because Cortland, even if he's wide receiver 1 this year, and I've made that argument, Cortland could still be wide receiver 1 this year, and your wide receiver 1, the following year could be Jalen. But Jalen could still have more yards, but I still think it depends on the situation in the game. But I think with Cortland probably being gone after next year or the year after, I think that Pat Bryant can be the Roddy White to Jalen Waddle's Julio, because Jalen will be our Julio, even though he's not Julio. Size and everything's different. Just game-breaking challenge, challenging nightmare for the defense. That's what I mean in that case. But I think that Pat Bryant could become a reliable number 2 that produces, scores you touchdowns, helps in the blocking, all that. He reminds me of Roddy White in a lot of ways. But Olave is the great young comparison, especially because of the concussions, like you mentioned. And great point too. Olave, had multiple concussions in 1 year, and then he ended up having a full healthy year. I would not be surprised if Pat Bryant is on track for a full healthy year. So, I would not be surprised one bit if that ends up panning out. Let's see. And- all right. Sorry, guys. I was clicking stuff. When I get clicking, I get clicking. All right, guys. Again, we're sitting here at 132. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the help. It means a lot. So if you want to help me, go ahead and do it. Yeah, no, I agree. The sky is the limit with Pat. There's nothing the coach has asked that he can't do. And that's what I love about him. And I think that's truly going to help him out in the future. Yeah, if you're watching on X, if you're watching on Twitter, come check us out. Yeah, and with Pat Bryant, another thing, some people have been. I don't think that Troy has had a down camp. Some people have been saying that he's had a kind of a down camp, but it sounds like he's also made his splashes and his plays. But when you have guys that step up and make, some of these impacts and some of these catches and plays like Mims and like a Pat Bryant, there's still plays to be out there, to be had out there, but he's not going to get the love. And I'm not worried about Troy. I'm not worried about Pat. If anyone in that receiving room is getting traded, I do think that it's probably Marvin, but I don't think that that's the case anymore. I'm fully committed that they want to keep this whole room for camp. They just want to keep this whole room, and I agree with it. I agree with keeping this room together, at least for the season. Same with the cornerback room. Keep the room together at least for the season. Don't make any trades. The only place I want to see a trade is maybe the inside linebacker room to bring someone in, like a vet. Just because I worry about, if you have a sternod injury or if you had, and knock on wood, but knock on wood, you have a sternod or a singleton injury, I think you start to get thin real quick there. And that's something I worry about. Pat Bryant, again, he's been the best receiver at camp. He's shown better route running. He's showing that he could be a future wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1. He's winning contested catches. He's grabbing everything. Like he's got hands of glue. He's snatching everything. It sounds like he's connecting or working on these back shoulder fades with Bo. And that's something that you are really wanting, because if you can hit these back shoulder fades, anytime I think of a good back shoulder fade of recent history, I think back to Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, because that was a connection. That back shoulder fade, beautiful. No matter what, you can't deny those two had a great rhythm, and they just knew how to get that back shoulder, the fade out. I think that Bo could easily do that and have that, connection with Pat Bryant. So yeah, that's my Pat Bryant, notes right there. I'm excited for it, and he's been showing that he's going over the middle still. He's making all the tough catches. He's doing what you want, and then I'll jump right into Riley Moss too. You can't defend a good no, especially when the wide receiver and the quarterback know when it's coming, and the corner doesn't. It's easy. It's so hard to stop, and it's just a matter of timing. And if you run it enough, you can have that kind of connection. While I think back to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, there are plenty of other options as well that you can just be like, oh, the back shoulder, yeah. So, no, I'm just really impressed with Pat Bryant, and we hope he stays healthy. And Mario did think that he's going to stay healthy, so we're going to ride with Mario, and I definitely agree. We're going to see if he stays healthy this year, just like you said about Olave, like that. I'm going to go with that too, and I'm going to bank on him having a fully healthy year now. We're going to ride with that for sure. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to Riley Moss, if that sounds okay with you, because I want to talk about Riley Moss, because while we're talking about Pat Bryant and his possibilities of being a future wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, I will gladly tell you that I think that Moss is doing the same thing right now. It sounds like Moss is getting his head around. He's turning around more. He's put in some work. He went to Florida, put some work in. It sounds like Moss is making some big plays. You can go back to the Luke interview, and he talked about, on a deep ball, Moss ripped the ball out of Cortland's hands and just took it from him. Moss is turning his head around. Biggest thing that we are hearing is like he's turning for these passes, and that's something that helps him. I can't tell you if they were biased towards him. Do I think that some of the PIs that he caught were outrageous and out of bias, maybe, or out of just because they're like, oh, he's done it before, so they just immediately think that he's getting handsy? But I disagree. I think that. I think he's turned it around. At least it sounds like he's turned it around. And that's something I want to see in preseason. Martin, while we're excited to see preseason and Jonah Coleman, and I'm excited for Coleman in the preseason, I want to see what little bit of Riley Moss, and I will be locked in on Moss during the preseason because I want to see, is he turning his head around for these plays? Because no matter what, Moss is going to get his targets. So keep an eye out for Moss. See if he has changed his play style on some of these like contested passes that get him in trouble. Sometimes, maybe he's done it, but most of the time it really did feel a little obvious that they're messing with him here. And I hope you like the new camera angle, by the way. I changed it up for the Luka interview. I kept it for the last stream, and I kept it for this stream. So if you like the new camera angle, let me know. I like the wide angle. We'll save the wide angle for when we have others on screen. Until then, I think we keep this smaller up close angle. I know you guys like to see the studio too, whether it's the audio mixer or the Todd Davis, the Benny Fowler jersey, the Goonsville merch. I know you guys love to see the rest of the studio. But I like this up close angle because it lets you see me and puts us up close. I was supposed to get a haircut today and I slept through the appointment, but it's a good thing because I'm off today. It's finally my only day off this week. I have Monday all off. So after this stream ends, I'm probably going to go to bed and then wake up, get some stuff done, and then again, stay tuned for the AFC West Fools show airing later today, 7 p.m. Pacific time. 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, whatever it is. I haven't lived on that part of the coast. On that part of the country since I was a child. So, I've never once thought past mountain time. I just think about Pacific and mountain time. But yes, guys, I read it. We got a good dog right here. Yeah, I love the camera angle. I think that it's nice for you guys to you see me, you see the Red Bull, it's still here. All this is still here, but it's more of a cleaner up close angle. And I think it helped, especially for our Luka interview. So if you like the new angle, let me know. Give me your positive feedback after the fact in the comments, give me your questions. I appreciate it. We're at 35 minutes in this show. We're going to keep going. We're going to go till we probably hit an hour and a half, 2 hours, of course. I like to go for 2 hours. Let's see. I like the more zoomed in look. You have to keep the talent as the focus on the frame. And that's what I learned with like the Luka thing is I made sure to do that. And yes, I guess I fall into that. I have to keep myself on the frame too and keep myself in here. And, what was the point of buying a good backdrop like this if I'm not going to use it to my fullest advantage? So that's why it makes more sense to do it that way as well. But yeah, I appreciate the feedback. I like the angle too. All we did is we took the webcam off of the ring light and we moved it onto the screen directly in front of me because I have a screen right in front of me that it's sitting on, which is actually a TV. So we're going to rearrange some of these electronics, hopefully before the season starts. And we're going to have that screen right here so it's separate. So we can have one game on the big screen and then a game on here while I still have the computer monitors doing their things as well. Because then I can make sure we're watching multiple games at the same time. Because these weekends, we're going to miss the 2 preseason games. We're not going to cover them live. We will do reactions to the playoff games after the fact, that night we'll be Saturday mornings, we'll be doing live reactions after the fact, but we won't be able to catch the preseason games because they're both on Friday. But we'll catch our regular season games still. And Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, those are all going to be watch along days, and the watch alongs are going to be fun because we come into them without scripts. One, because we're going to be answering your questions, but also when we're watching these games, we're going to be taking notes too. So it'll help because after we do watch alongs, we're going to do reaction streams after the fact too, but that will be the day after. We'll do reaction streams the day after usually. This is our first, 3 or 4 months covering, the Broncos and getting into this, and I'm so proud of how fast this growth has gone. And back to Moss. I know we got off the script for a second with the whole zoomed in look and all that, but yeah, we'll get back to Moss again. I think that Moss, with getting his head back and all that, if this is all true, there's a chance that Moss can play himself into one being too pricey for us. People are talking about who do you pay, J-Mac or Riley? You might only be forced to have one option. And that's probably because Riley might end up playing Riley might play so good. Like if he can get a takeaway or two, a few takeaways this year, that's going to help him a lot. But Moss might play so good. And he said he's still going to play aggressive too. So even though he has been, getting the head around and getting involved like you would want him to, he's going to still keep the aggressiveness that he plays with. And, that all being said, he can easily be, I've already said it, he can easily be a starting corner on many teams right now. But if he keeps playing like this, he's going to really earn that respect from the league, and people are going to pay him probably more than we're going to want to possibly pay him. So I think that's something to keep your eye out. But is he going to become too good to pay? That's the discussion, I think, with Riley, because it's been nothing but good from the beginning. He has been from the beginning of camp just going up the whole way. And when we get into injuries, guys, there's a few of these guys on here who have barely played a single snap. There's a guy on here in this injury report. He's barely played a single snap. See, look, here's my script and notes for the episode. It's horrible. It's very horrible handwriting. I have my Luka interview, so if I ever meet Luka, I'm gonna have him autographed my notes for our interview. Same with all my other people, because I'm gonna save my interview questions, because I have a script notebook as well as I have a notebook for my interviews with guests now. So I have Luka's down. I've started writing interviews for my next guest, and so I have 2 separate journals, but the writing's horrible. But if I ever meet Luka, if I ever meet any of these people that I interview, I'm going to have them autograph their page of my notes for them. So that would be kind of cool. But yeah, so again, with Moss, I think there's a chance he's going to play himself out of our range to pay. And even though I was already on the whole pay J-Mac thing, and it's because I think you have the best outside boundary corner in the game, why not sign the best slot inside corner in the game? People can hit me with whatever stat they want about some of these slot corners. I don't give a crap. He's putting up stats that are like Kyle Hamilton, starting safety type stats. So I don't want to hear it. J-Mac is, in my opinion, the one I wanted to pay no matter what before. But I think there's a chance that Riley Moss plays himself into a legitimate number 1 role on another team, and he's going to be too pricey to want to have this discussion at one point. Maybe they'll make him an offer, but I don't know if they'll compare to what another team can offer and what we should do. And I think that I would take, I'd rather just go with J-Mac and then just roll out, one of our other DBs out there, or draft and, or sign a free agent, fill that other, spot somehow. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat right now or after the fact how you feel about these takes. How you felt about the Pat Bryant takes. How you feel about these Riley Moss takes. I want to know, because I think that Riley Moss, he's already a cornerback 1 for a few teams. I think he's if he turns these penalties around, and if he is turning his head around like they are saying, like Luka said, he's ripping balls out of Cortland's hands down the field. Riley Moss is in for a huge year, and I would not be surprised if we're in for the year of Moss right now. And if so, you just got to enjoy the year while you got him, because you're not going to be able to get him back. I don't think you'll get him back. He's going to play himself into a big contract. He's already worth a big contract, in my opinion, but he's going to get much better. You need to keep them both. I agree. I would love to keep Moss back. maybe we can trade Sutton. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't want to trade Sutton this season. I don't want to trade him this season if Pat takes the leap. No, I know. And I've seen you bring this take before, Martin, and I agree. You definitely, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I don't think so. I don't like to think of myself like that because I'm still so new to this and, embracing the camera and the personality, but I appreciate you, Martin. You rock. But yeah, I would love to keep them both, and I love this take that you have. Um, maybe this, I know this is a part of the game, and I think keeping Cortland maybe would be coming from an emotional perspective for a lot of Broncos fans and maybe even the front office when it comes to Cortland. But this is maybe why you would make a good GM, because you can make these moves that are not heartless, but they're just the tough moves to make that, sometimes you have to do, because it pained me to see Demarius traded. To trade DT pained me, but you can do things with these picks and or whatever happens. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to keep both the cornerback room and the wide receiver room intact for the season, and then go from there. Because I think this team, if it's going to get to the Super Bowl, it needs every single person that was here last year for that run, or as many of them, back. And we're going to get into our third topic will be Jonah Coleman, from these things. But yeah, I would just like to see as many of these people back as possible if we're going to try to make this deep run this year. With that being said, I'm just pumped for Moss, because if he's doing what they saying he's doing, he's going to take the ball away easily. But I would love to keep both, Martin. But if I had my say and I'm told only one, to me, it's J-Mac. I think you can make an argument either way for either one, and it's a fair argument, and it's an acceptable outcome. That's for sure. We have to get creative and figure it out. You see teams like the Rams spend money. They're printing it. And see, I've talked about Les Snead. I love Les Snead and the work that and the relationship he has with Sean McVay. But Les Snead's like balls to the wall, just go get it mentality. He did it. When they won their championship against the Bengals, they traded for Von Miller. I'm pretty sure they also traded for Jalen Ramsey that same year. So I think that was a whole same offseason move. They either traded or signed Jalen, I think. But my point is, they brought Jalen Ramsey in. They brought in Von Miller. They knew what they were doing. And man, to see Aaron Donald possibly coming back with the Rams terrifies me, because I see. My Super Bowl matchup is Broncos-Rams, and if Aaron Donald is on the other side, that's going to really shake some things up for that O-line. But do I think we could pull it off? Of course. I think we're a better team than the Bengals were. I think this Broncos team is better than the Bengals team that faced the Rams in that Super Bowl. So this is why I think, and it's because I think we have a better defense than the Bengals had that year. And I think that the best way, to show that you can compete with a team like the Rams is just heads-on hardcore defense. We saw that if you want to match a high-powered offense, you just smack them in the face with a hard high-powered defense. And that's what Seattle did to Denver. And I think we learned our lesson, and we did that to Carolina. And that lesson has been passed down Super Bowl history every year, whether it's, that one where it was that Rams defense was pretty good. That Rams defense was really helpful against the Bengals, even though they gave up some stuff for sure in that game. I just think that good way to stop a high-powered offense, smack them in the face with a good defense. Mostly because we've been on the receiving and giving side of that. But yeah, no, we can get creative for sure. And I agree with that, because they have so much. The Rams know what they're doing, and I love Les Snead, so I'm not opposed to doing something. I think, Martin, and I want your take on this, I think that I still wouldn't be opposed to say that we could still use another star. That's why, this whole Vita Vea talk is big, because while I love this Broncos D line, and one of our subjects on here is that there hasn't been a drop off with JFM gone so far in camp. There hasn't, because Innie and Malcolm Roach have filled that hole. But I will say, to throw Vita Vea in immediately, it's like, well, now this is like reminding me of that Eagles, D line rotation against the Eagles. I mean, against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They were like 6 guys deep on that D line, and I would just love to do it. I just would love to add a big star. And I wouldn't be opposed to saying that maybe we're set, but at the same time, I'm not opposed to saying maybe we could use a big star. Maybe we can use one more, bit of in terms of firepower, offensively or defensively. I would think that I would like defensively. With Vita Vea in that D line, I think your cornerback room is one of the best secondaries in the league. I mean, I think you have one of the best secondaries in the league. You have a great D line already. Just throw in easily one of the best, nose tackles in the game, right next to, Zach Allen, and next to these other guys, next to these edges. Man, it would be crazy. I just can't help myself with it. I think that I wouldn't be opposed to a big star being added. And so that being said, guys, we're going to jump right into another one of these topics. We're going to get into bone. We already talked Bonex. All right, yeah, JFM drop off. We'll just ease right into that, and then Jonah Coleman. But there has not been a drop off from what people like Zach Stevens and other reporters have been saying from the beat. They have been all saying. Online, you go check all these people and their respective sources, whether it's Zach at DNVR or other people at some of these other outlets. They are talking about how, like, there's not a drop off. You're still seeing endless pressure. You're seeing endless sacks, and it's a deep rotation. Innie, who we wanted to talk about, he's stepping up real big. Innie's really stepping up, and even though he does fall into this whole injury issue, because he did have a little issue, and he left, and we didn't get an update. So this is why today, with them coming back tonight, with them coming back in a few hours to hit the field and be at practice, we'll hopefully get an update on any Aruza Wike today. All right, yeah, guys, you're gonna hear me botch some names. Man, you would think I would have matched it, but I'll just keep calling him Innie. That's the best bet. All right, but yeah, so no D line drop off, and that's what I was worried about, guys. Now, one thing I will say is that my biggest worry with JFM leaving was not the pressure; it was the run game, stopping the run game. I was worried that with getting rid of JFM and letting one of these guys step in, you're going to see a dip when it comes to stopping the run game. And it doesn't sound like that either. It doesn't sound like that's been an issue either. So I've been impressed so far, and that's another thing to watch. All these things that we've talked about are great things to look at when it comes to the preseason and this game coming up, guys, because we got Jonah Coleman. That's going to be great to watch. Riley Moss, while he's out there, in his small time that he's out there, keep your eye on Riley Moss. And when you're looking at the starting defense, I think Riley Moss is the one to watch. Him and Brandon Jones, in my opinion. Watch Brandon Jones, see how he's looking coming off of injury, but watch Riley Moss and see how he's defending these passes, and if he's turning his head more, or if he looks like he's done something different. Besides that, I was worried about the D-line, and it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like the rotation has been great. Savion Jones, he has not been as, like, boom, explosive, not even like that. More just like, he's been outshined by some of these other guys, but it sounds like he's took a little step, but not as big of a step as some of us probably would have wanted for Savion. But I love the depth. I love the rotation that they have, guys. They got so much depth, and then it sucks because they lost some of that depth actually with one of these injuries, and we will talk about it. But Matt Henningsen, he's gone for this season, just like last year. So that room did get a little weaker. I know that Henningsen was on the back end of that room, and if you add a guy like Vita Vea, you're adding to the front end of that room. But either way, I would just love to see. a big star at it. And if it's Vita Vea, do it. If it's someone on the defense, like an inside linebacker, do it. I would like to see a step up or a move made. Uh, just like another big star power move like you'd see the Rams do. I would love to see a move like that happen. Um, let's see. Yeah, the D line's looking good. All these guys are looking good on the D line for the most part. Let's see. Jonah Coleman. We'll jump into Jonah Coleman. All right. So with Jonah Coleman, guys, it sounds like some people have been saying that, he looks like a rookie. He looks like a rookie. Well, coming from Sean Payton, guys, Jonah Coleman does not look like a rookie. And either way, he's also been a very much willing blocker. And it sounds like that, on Saturday, he had some good runs up the middle. It sounds like that he's actually impressing some people. We've talked about it a little bit earlier. We love Cecil Lammy and we love the fan and all that. And Cecil was talking that, you could take JK out and hand Jonah, the reins and you won't see a drop off in production. And I'm that confident in Jonah. If he gets to start and the reps, do I think that he should start early? No. Do I think he should even get the start? No. It should be JK. I just want to see Jonah, every other drive, let it be his drive. That's all I want to see. I think Jonah's going to get his time. Who knows when that will be? Maybe JK will be correct and prove all of us wrong, and he'll be healthy. And if that's the case, guys, we hope that he is right, and we hope that we are wrong, because that's what we want for sure. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure. Okay, I thought we had an internet issue for a second. I was a little worried. We're good. Yeah, guys, if you're joining right now, it is 2:49 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you for joining. My name's Cody Chapa with Still Up Sports. Feel free to come, like, comment, subscribe. We're slowly moving our way up. This growth that you see on screen right now, that is from the beginning of the year. So if I were to, let me do this. Let me pull it up. You can see right here, back when we were at 432. So the 2, that was me and my mother. So those are the only followers. January 17th. We've only been streaming for about 3 months. So more like since March-ish. Yeah. No, more like April. Yeah, April something. We've only been streaming for a few months, less than 3 months. Besides that, the channel's only been around for a little bit of time, and we spent some time boosting up the subs and growing the attention, as well as we had to spend a chunk of the year just working hard to fund this studio. So this is something we started at the beginning of the year, and we've continued to grow, and we continue to normalize late night sports talk. We're not like a normal Broncos channel. We're Still Up Sports. We'll talk all sports, not just Denver Broncos or Denver affiliated, but all sports. And my guarantee to you is that we will always go live after midnight for these late night shows, because I'm trying to be there for the late night sports fan. And we're also trying to create the concept of a late night sports fan, because there are sports fans. There are people that work late night. They just don't know about this, and they don't know the source, or they don't know that it's not, common or uncommon. So that's why we dived headfirst into this, and we just continue to promote and engage with people and enjoy this idea of late night sports talk. We have some cool stuff coming. We're going to be adding the Google Voice, hopefully by next stream. Hopefully by not the AFC Fools stream, but hopefully by our Wednesday stream, maybe I have the Google Voice set up, and then I can give you guys a call-in number where you could call and leave a voicemail, and then I can pull the voicemail up on air, and we can listen to what you have to say, and then I can answer your question that way. And it's another way for you guys to get more involved and more engaged, and that's going to be free, no matter what. I'm not monetized, but if I did get monetized, I still wouldn't charge to do that. I'm going to get that Google Voice set up, and that's something I've learned from Jeff, our friend, Raider Jeff 401 or 401 Raider Jeff, because of him, we've gotten, and we've gotten to the point where we are learning more and more. And because of that, we're going to add the Google Voice so you guys can call in, because I think having call in is great. We're new to this, young to this, but in no way are we ever stopping. So we can be ants walking amongst giants right now. Soon we'll be a giant ourselves. Just no matter what, we're going to be there for the late night sports fan. And in these hours, I've said it before, it's not about the time. I mean, it's not about the channel or the views necessarily for me, or it's more about just, the hours and being live. Because if you're live and you're here during these hours, you're doing what I talk about, which is, creating and normalizing late night sports talk. And it starts one stream at a time, one day at a time, but we continue to go. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone popping in. I see all you guys on Twitter. I see you guys on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. We're just one man band over here. All right. So Jonah Coleman again. Excited for Jonah Coleman. I don't expect much of a drop off when you see him out there. He's a little bit of a bowling ball type back. Yes, he's 5'8". I don't know why people are so shocked all of a sudden that he's 5'8", or all of a sudden I think it's hilarious that he's so short. They should have known this when we drafted him. Jonah's 5'8", but he's still 220. 220, 225. That man's in great shape. I'm not worried about Jonah Coleman, guys. He may look like a rookie once or twice, and that's okay. But I'm pretty excited for Jonah. Let's see. Another bit of news. Let's see. Marvin Mims, of course. Mims, another guy who, while we got news on, is also a little injured. We'll get into his injury in a little bit. But Mims has been looking good, guys. They're saying that Mims, just like Pat Bryant. So I was talking about how they're saying Pat Bryant looks like he's improved his route tree. It sounds like Mims has improved his route tree. And this is something that I may have digged at him for, because, it was not as expansive of a tree that he would run last year. It sounds like he's been running more routes. He's been great with those, yards after catches. And then what's even bigger is that there's more motions, getting Marvin moving more, which is great. I'm excited for that, because that means maybe it sets up opportunities or one-on-ones for Marvin against these, inside backers or something. So I'm very excited for that. I'm excited for Marvin, guys. I have constantly talked about Marvin Mims as a guy that, because he got a new agent and because of, we know how he's talked before on other shows. And I mean, not on other shows, but like the day of the Waddle trade, we saw his initial reaction. I was worried that if he doesn't get the ball, or if he doesn't see the attention he likes early on in the season, that he would flex, that new agent, and that he would try to get a trade. I don't really believe that anymore. I believe that they're going to get him involved. I think they're going to make him an intricate part of this offense. And I think every receiver on this team, at least your starting five, even little Jordan Humphrey, too, because of his blocking, and he's got great receiving abilities as well. We saw a little bit of it in the AFC Championship game. I mean, there was that drop, but then there was that catch. There's stuff that he can improve on, for sure. But I think this wide receiver room, guys, it's in a great spot. It's really in a good spot. I think every one of them has their own role to play. They're all going to eat in their own way. They're all going to play their part, even if it has to be, a Pat Bryant block, on the outside that springs the JK or the RJ or the Jonah touchdown. Even if it's, the Cortland Sutton, even if it's, the Cortland Sutton block, for a Marvin Mims trick play, or who knows how this is all going to go. There's something more that I think about it, because I'm not a fan of this wide receiver 3 talk anymore. I'm getting annoyed with this who's wide receiver 3 thing, because I've said it before. I think it's going to be a committee, and I think it's going to depend on the matchup every week, guys. There's so many matchups. It's like how Bill Belichick would talk about matchups. It was always about week to week, and how you would attack defenses and how you'd use some of these players on your offense, and it would all be based off of each week. And I fully am a believer in the Belichick method of, like, everything is weekly. There's not one set person at one position, because the following week it's going to be completely different. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if you see Waddle go for 1,100 yards, and if one or two of these games he's not too impressive, you know, and that's maybe because, you know, Cortland was eating or Pat was eating. You know, my point is especially with Waddle, teams are gonna go after Waddle. They're gonna try to double him easily. So it's up to Cortland. It's up to Pat and Troy and Marvin to take advantage of these opportunities. Hope you guys are having a great night. Welcome to Still Up Sports. Again, I'm your host, Cody Chapa. You know, where we normalize late night sports talk Monday, Wednesday, Friday, normally at 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Today we went live at 2 a.m. Mountain Time, guys. We're here for the late night sports fan. We're here to normalize late night sports talk. In my opinion, late night doesn't begin until it's after midnight. Late night does not begin until it's after midnight. You have to say that you stayed up till midnight does not count. So, you know, Still Up Sports, we've done 24-hour streams to prove that we can own up to this name of being still up. And here at Still Up, we're going to continue to be the best source for Broncos talk and all sports talk late night in the middle of the night, guys. Again, I'm your host, Cody Chape. If you have comments or questions, let me know. I read them after the fact. I get engaged. I answer comments and questions. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get to it, but I always get to every comment, every question. And please, you know, feel free to get engaged, because this is your platform. This is your late night sports outlet to talk. It is a tool chest, absolutely. I like to think of, you know, if... when I talk about it, and I hope when I make clips later this helps, but I like to think, because while I think about Davis Webb, and I like to talk about Davis Webb and Sean Payton both being Batman. You know, Sean Payton passing, you know, the mantle to, you know, as Sean Payton's Bruce Wayne, one who has all the money in the world, all the resources and knowledge in the world, all that. He's passing the mantle down to Davis Webb, you know, who's young and new, does things differently, but is the necessary move. And I think of all these wide receivers and these running backs and even these tight ends as like the Batman, you know, utility belt. And, you know, if Davis Webb, like you say, you know, it's Davis Webb's job to use them to their best ability. I think Davis Webb is Terry McGinnis, is Batman Beyond, and I think that it's up to him to use that utility belt, those wide receivers, those running backs, and you have so many mismatch and opportunities, capabilities and opportunities ahead of you, and I just imagine Davis, I just wish I could know what the man is thinking and what we're going to see. And we're going to be another thing for your list of things to watch for the preseason game. Jonah Coleman, you know, Riley Moss, that D-line, you know, another thing, Davis Webb's play calling, guys. You want to watch Davis Webb's play calling and see how is this man going to operate, because it's going to be a nice little bit of insight to say, or to see, is it moving fast? Is it, are they getting in and out of the huddle fast? Are the plays shorter, and are they making more happen? It sounds like there's been all kinds of motions at camp, like more than we've ever seen. So if that's the case, we'll see if the motions are there still. We'll need to see how this all plays out. But Davis Webb is definitely Terry McGinnis picking up the mantle from Bruce, who is Sean. And I think that it's up to Davis for sure to use them to their best ability. He is Handy Manny. He is Bob the Builder. And all of these guys are just assets, and you got to use them right. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. I agree with you. Yeah? Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, we got a dog. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Bam. Yeah. There we go. You can see the dog. He's famous. Wait. Yep. He's a good boy. When he wants to be. That's Redis, guys. Yeah, I'm curious to see if Webb is on. So that sounds like something that him and Sean are still discussing, is the whole being up there or not. I think that it sounds like Sean might want him up there, whereas it sounds like Davis may want to be down there. But I think whatever happens, happens. Let me say this: a lot of head coaches that choose to call plays tend to call plays for the sideline. Oh, excuse me. A lot of head coaches that choose to call plays call them from the sideline, of course. But I will say we're slowly moving into the era of non-greedy head coaches, where you're seeing some guys give up play calling, and they don't feel like they need it. Am I saying Davis is gonna just do that right away? No. Do I think Davis wants to call plays in this league? Absolutely. Uh, do I get the vibe that if Davis were to one day take a job somewhere, that he would be the play caller? Of course. Do I also get the vibe that maybe down the line, maybe, because I just feel like there's a trend in the league now, especially with the older coaches right now, to give up, play calling to a younger coach. Maybe when Davis is not the young guy anymore, when Davis is the guy with over 10, 12, 15 years of experience in the league, maybe at that point he's already like, I don't need to be a play caller because I'm a great CEO. It all depends. Now, this is why I'm very high on Phillip Rivers, and I want Phillip Rivers to come back to the league in some sort of coaching capacity, because I think Phillip could be a great head coach. Not right away. He needs to, go as a QB coach, whatever. And as I talk about Davis, in the whole situation, if Davis ends up in the booth, I'm perfectly confident because he has Logan Kilgore. Bo has Logan Kilgore right there, the QB coach, who Bo is close with, just like he was with Davis. So, Logan Kilgore is a great choice to, be down there with Bo. But no, I just can't help but think that you're seeing a trend of coaches, eventually not, want to call plays because they're delegating more. And, I think that Phillip Rivers would make a great head coach, because of the fact that he could be a true CEO kind of head coach and pass it to a play caller, the reins to a play caller for sure. Sorry, random little rant. But no, I'm worried and curious. Not worried. I'm curious for sure how this goes and how this works out. I wouldn't be surprised if Davis Stubbs want to stay down on the ground level. But I could care less how it goes. I think no matter what, if it were to be such an issue, they'll address it. This is what the preseason's for. So maybe we'll see them experiment with this in the preseason games, guys. This is something we could possibly see. Yep. Again, guys, come check us out on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Luca Evans interviews out. We also have a new late night, vibes with Still Up Sports. We have one out. It was a dubstep lo-fi. That was kind of fun. I have a membership with an audio company, and as long as I connect my YouTube to it, I don't get hit with copyrights or nothing like that. I'm fully allowed to use their licensed music as long as I have a membership. And so that's where that audio and those musics come from. But it's fun because I just got to put the little image, and that's going to be the season 1 of that playlist. The season 2 of that playlist, we're going to hit it with an animated background. So it's going to be a moving background. But yeah, guys, do me the favor, go check us out on YouTube, X, Instagram, and of course TikTok, guys. The Luca interview, again, I'm so gracious. I'm grateful, so grateful for Luca to be gracious with his time like that. That was a big interview for us, very big. And the fact that we got another big one coming up soon is exciting as well. Because after camp, we have another one coming. Once it's scheduled, when I'm scheduled to record that, then I'll fill you guys in and get your questions for that guy as well. I'll just tell you, it's a Broncos beat reporter, one that I truly look up to. I'll say that. But yeah, no. Let's see. Mims again. This wide receiver room, man, he's looking good. The motion's big. I'm excited to see. So that's something to keep a track on with this Davis Webb play calling. But also, just keep an eye on Mims, Pat Bryant. Whatever you want. There's so much to keep an eye on. But my big takeaways, guys, is Davis Webb's play calling. You got to keep an eye on that D-line. See who's filling in there with the starters. Yeah. All right, Martin. Martin says he has to hit the sack. I got get up earlier than usual. But I'll see you for the Fools broadcast. Good night. Absolutely. Get a good night's rest, Martin. I appreciate you staying up with us. You're always still up. Thank you for being still up with us, Martin. You're amazing. Chat, round of applause to Martin as he gets some good rest. All right, Martin, you have a wonderful night. Go get some rest, man. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, yes, guys, we have a new show coming out. It's bi-weekly, every 2 weeks during the season. It's probably going to go away during the off season unless we all want to link up during the off season, which is fine too, and we might do that. And you'll also see us all come on each other's shows leading into the matchups. So that's cool. Yeah, thank you so much, Martin. Guys, we got some of you guys hanging out on X, some of you guys hanging out on YouTube. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for coming to Still Up Sports. We normalize late night sports talk. Truly in the late night for the late night sports fans. We also have some sick watch alongs coming up when the season begins. We're going to be doing watch alongs to Broncos games, but also primetime games. So we're going to have busy weekends coming up this season. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to go on this show for another 45 minutes, make this a 2-hour show. We're back into the rhythm. We may be missing the preseason games, but we'll do reaction shows the night of, the preseason games. So after they happen, when I get off work, I'll come home and I'll immediately react to the preseason games based off of what I've seen and what I've been able to get some notes in still. But when the regular season hits, we're going to be going, guys. And again, I got some free magnets, free stickers for you coming for you, Martin. Just DM me personally. I'll take care of you on some free stickers, free magnets. Besides that, guys, if you're interested, if you're with me right now, if you want some free stickers, free magnets, let me know. I'll be able to make some of that work for a few of you guys. Besides that, we got a big Denver trip. Worked a lot of overtime this last weekend. I got off work just 2 hours ago. I gave up my days off just so I can work because of this Denver trip. We're going to be solo for a part of it, and that's why we're going to make sure that we're perfectly fine in terms of like the finances. So we're not stranded in Denver with no money or nothing like that. We're going to be fully ready. And we're going to have a blast. I'm going to DM 1 or 2 people tonight and ask if they're interested on coming on the show. And we're going to DM some people, see if they want to come on the show and get another interview or 2 as well. It's going to be really fun. Hold on. All right. Sorry. We got the cat and the dog going crazy. They are going crazy at 3:10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is crazy. They're weirdos, running up and down the stairs, chasing each other. And it's like they did not get the news that they're supposed to be watching Still Up Sports. Who would have thought, guys? Yeah, guys. And again, you see me right now in the Goonsville, the Greek Goonsville. Please do me the favor and go check out our friend, our brother from another state, another mother, Petros and Goonsville. You see it right here. I got a cart started, guys. I could not resist. I already got a cart started. I might have to add maybe one more thing to it before I check out. But I always have Goonsville coming. I need another shirt. I got to keep going. More shirts, man, in this heat. I don't touch the hoodies unless it gets really, really cold. And with it being 116, 117 at times, we are not even getting. We're lucky to keep it at 74, 75 inside, and that we're lucky that our AC has not given out. So once it gets colder again, I'll rock more hoodies. But until then, I'm going to keep rocking the Goonsville shirts. I'll keep rocking, the beanies. I got the beanie right here, the double layer beanie. Goonsville knows what they're doing, guys. Look at this. Look at that. You see it right there. Yeah, it's so clean. Brighter orange than the banner. That's crazy. Go check out Goonsville, guys. Cleanest in the game. Best clothing out there. Maybe we'll check out the navy blue and orange. We'll throw on the navy blue and orange. This one's also double-sided, double layered. So when it's extra cold, it's got you. Look at that, guys. So sick. Goonsville's killing it. As always, they're always killing it. So clean, man. Look at that. Love it. I can't help myself, guys. Love me some Goonsville. Best part of Goonsville is they're not even a paid sponsor. They're just family. And I can't wait to hit Goonsville and hit Petros up and go to Denver because we're going to hit up Pete's Kitchen. I got so much I want to try, so much Greek food. I've never tried Greek food in my life, and I'm specifically waiting to go to Denver and to try all that stuff with you, man. Have a glass of Ozu, all that fun stuff. We're going to have fun. Yeah, guys, feel free to drop a comment, like, subscribe, let me know. Besides that, let's see. That's all of our topics for now for camp. So we'll jump right into injuries real quick, guys. We'll knock out injuries. Matt Henningsen tore his Achilles exactly a year from when he tore the other Achilles. It's not the same one, guys. It's a different one. But incredibly disheartening to hear. And you really feel bad for the guy because last year when it happened, he was really having a good camp. And then this year when it happened, he was having a good camp. And it's just really sad to see that happen. And we hope Matt Henningsen recovers, but his year's already over, most likely, from how it sounds. It's sad. Let's see. Jordan Turner, still undisclosed issue. He's on the NFI list, the non-football injury list. So, that's where Jordan Turner's been. Let's see. Jalen Waddle. Let's see. He's been limited. He missed a few practices due to some muscle tightness and what sounded like some strain of some sort. But he did attend practice. He's been jogging. He was not wearing a sleeve, so he's looking good. Whereas like Marvin, Marvin was running full speed on a go route, and then he pulled off. And it sounds like that, it's unclear, but it sounds like he was grabbing the upper, thigh, leg area. He was in a sleeve on Saturday. It's now Monday. So this is what I'm saying, guys. Later, we'll see how this all goes, and we'll make sure that when we do our show on Wednesday, we have an update because we're going to keep doing our notes, and we'll be ready for Wednesday's show. We may do a show tomorrow. Depends on how I feel. Depending on how I'm feeling, I might do a show every day of the week just because I can't hit the preseason games. So maybe this week, next week, we'll do a show each night just to see. Again, guys, we are your exclusive source for late night Broncos sports talk. Late night does not begin until after midnight, and here at Still Up Sports, we are always live. At least Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe we'll squeeze in Tuesdays and Thursdays if we feel up to it. But guaranteed Monday, Wednesday, Friday at night, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, doing watch-alongs and reactions, as well as our Monday shows now every 2 weeks with our fools, from fantasy, talking about the AFC West, really talking some shit about each other's teams and stuff. That's going to be fun. Let's see. Other injuries real quick. Luke Wattenberg, still an undisclosed issue. He still did not participate. There's a chance, he might miss this preseason game. More time for Forsyth to get some reps. But no, you hope that he's doing well. Hopefully we get an update on that today. We'll be keeping our eyes out on some of these guys and see if we get some updates. Let's see. Enrique, again, great camp so far. He's been having a great camp. Part of why you haven't seen much drop off from that D-line room is because, his step up right next to Malcolm Roach, both of them doing a great job. And, he did, get hurt, no update. That's the one we're waiting on the update for. So it's Monday now. Later, we should hopefully get an update on any. Besides that, guys, Deshaun McCullough, DNP, the man has barely played anything. I think he hasn't even been on the field more than once this training camp. So that's not good for McCullough. Anyone that's focused on him or has him on your mind, it's not good for him that he hasn't gotten any play time. Another thing, guys, we also got another creator that has expressed interest in wanting to come on. So we'll let this guy take his vacation, and then we'll get back to him after his vacation. We don't want to bug the guy, but it's another Broncos creator, and he's going on vacay. The man's one of the hardest Broncos creators out there, and we'll get him on the show after his vacation, as long as it's appealing or fitting for him. Again, we accommodate these guests no matter what. And all those interviews, minus the Luca interview so far, all those were filmed on our last 24-hour stream. In the future, all these interviews are going to be more like thorough, thought out, up close view. You're going to see more, hopefully, professionalism come out of this, on my end at least, guys. And me just trying to tweak things and do things better and keep growing. Because if I knew how to do some of this producing stuff, how to do some of this editing stuff, how to do some of this stuff like the analytical stuff that some of these guys who've been doing this for 2, 3, 4 years have been doing. If I knew what they were doing or how to do it, I think we've made such fast progress already that, man, we would be so far ahead if we could. So I'm excited to see what Still Up Sports looks like a year from now, 2 years from now, as we continue to normalize late night sports talk, whether we're talking about the Broncos, whether we're talking about the NHL, NBA. I'm not a big MLB person, but if you want to talk MLB, drop it. We'll talk MLB. We talk anything. We talk all sports, but we're a Broncos channel, of course. We went with the blue. We went with this logo for a reason, guys. This logo is great because it looks like a rising sun, because we're on the air in the early morning hours of the night. Sometimes we've done shows, and as we're ending, the sun's coming up. So no surprise there. Yeah, definitely, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, guys, we are sitting here at 132. Thank you to our friend earlier, dropping by and subscribing. Cool of you to pop by and subscribe. We continue to grow each day, one sub at a time. We're almost pushing 700 watch hours. So that's actually pretty impressive. We've had a lot of people, watching, a lot of people supportive, going back and rewatching our streams. I've had a lot of people that most of my subs I've had to hustle for, and a good chunk of these subs have told me that they go back and they rewatch this stuff. They know that, of course, I got, like viewing goals that YouTube has for us, but they also just want to like watch everything from the beginning. And they say that they continue to see a little bit of growth from episode 1 to now we're on episode 22. So it's crazy how much growth we've seen in that time, not just personally, but also from you guys. So that's awesome. Yeah, again, we're going to have a call-in line, guys. We're going to add a call-in line, making us even more unique here on the Still Up Sports Hours, getting you engaged, talking with you, answering your questions. We do all that. So I'm very excited. We'll get that Google Voice thing set up. Besides that, guys, in the future, like I've expressed interest that this channel is never going to always be based here in Vegas. In the next year or two, I'll find my way out to Denver no matter what. Whether I have to move out there and put the studio into a van and live in the van and get a part-time job, I want the show in the future to go live at 12 a.m. Mountain Time and go till 4 or 5 in the morning Mountain Time. Claim the whole 4 or 5 hours, and that's why we've done that before a few times where we've gone for 4 hours or whatever. Normally I try to keep these at 2 hours, and starting at what is 1 a.m. my time, 2 a.m. Mountain Time, and going to 4-ish Mountain Time, that helps. But I do like the idea of anything to normalize late night sports talk, whether it's a call-in line, whether it's answering your messages and all that stuff, guys. Down the line, when we get monetized, we're going to do members-only streams, but those will only be $2, $3 to become a member. So they'll be very affordable because I I mean, I'm more about getting this out there to as many people as possible. Because if we can inspire anyone to maybe stay on the air or go on the air later and talk some sports, we're happy about that. Because then it shows that, we're getting people to see this concept that we're doing, and that they can also, embrace the idea of late night sports talk. You guys, do me the favor and go subscribe. If you're not watching, like I see you guys on X, come subscribe on YouTube. Come hop onto YouTube and subscribe. We got magnets and new stickers on the way. Those are going to be dealt with, so stay tuned for those. Besides that, when we go to Denver, we got so much that we're going to do when we're in Denver, so I can't wait. We're going to link up with so many people. We're going to continue to link up with people. And I'm also going to send some DMs to some people that I really like, respect, and not all these discussions, even though they're sports oriented or sports centered, do not have to always be just about the sport. I want to talk about these guests and their personal selves too. I want these guests to feel like that they have a chance to let the people know who they are, and on a more personal note as well, not just on a what you see in my reporting, in my videos, in my writing type, get to know me, but get to know me like how we did with Luca a little bit. We did ask Luca some personal questions, like, what got him started, all that. That's a great question. So many people in this industry, I want to ask that. Yeah, guys, this is our only day off, so excuse me for the snoring. I mean, for the yawning, okay? Because it's our only day off. We got off work like 2 hours ago, and we're working extra overtime because those Broncos Chiefs tickets, man, it's going to be almost $300. Crazy. So worked 2 days, 2.5 days of overtime last week. Worked 2 days overtime this week, just so we can make sure we can lock in our seat, no matter if it's in the nosebleeds or not. We just want to get a seat. And then besides that, we're going to get our tailgate tickets for the DMVR tailgate, as well as we're just trying to make sure we have plenty of spending money in Denver too. We're going to go to Mile High Comics. That's going to be fun. We're going to do so much cool stuff in Denver for covering the team. So many people we're going to try to reach out to and hang out with when we're out there. So excited, guys. Yeah, guys, we're going for at least another 30 minutes. If you got any comments, questions, let me know. Again, AFC Fools, that's exciting. I'm excited for that. Fantasy, I'm excited for fantasy. Maybe we should do one more fantasy. Let's do a fantasy mock or something. All right. I think that's it. Okay. We'll go here. Let's pop you back up. All right. There we are. So we're going to set this up. We are 13th. Let's go 60 seconds. We'll go just 60 seconds. Even though it's going to be a 90-second clock, we're doing a 16. It's our first time doing fantasy. It's going to be a point per reception. It's a 16-team league. We're picking 13th, and it is a snake draft. All of it's set up for what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be. Let's see. 7 bench. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, good. All right. We're going to start this, and we're going to do this to end the stream real quick because this is fun, because we're going to keep practicing. Our draft is until the 30th, so we're going to keep practicing, and let's do this. Good thing is, with where we're picking, I believe, we can double up on running back, is from what I believe. There's goes some great running backs already off the board. Man. And Trey McBride. Oh. All right, guys. Let's check out the running backs. There you go. Oh, man. I'm big on A-Chain still. Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Walker. Okay. I'm going Saquon. I don't like Omarion. Kenneth Walker. Okay, Jeremiah Love. We're going to go Jeremiah Love. I think that he's going to be big for them. Are we going to go Jeremiah Love and Ashton Genty or Devon A-Chain? Go Devon A-Chain. Oh, that's what sucks about where we pick is a lot of guys go off the board after. Let's go wide receiver. Okay, they got some good options. Lad McConkey's the best choice right there. Can't deny that. He's a fantasy darling for sure. Let's see. Looking at these guys, Luther Burden, Jameson Williams, Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans if he's healthy. Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, DJ Moore. Man, we're going Mike Evans. Boy. Oh, man. All right. I think we're going Dak at quarterback. We're going Dak at quarterback. That's for sure. I think Dak makes sense there. Let's check tight end. Anyone there at tight end? Sam Laporta. Not big on Kyle Pitts and Tua and the Falcons. Let's see. Where? All right, there we are. Let's check running back. Wide receiver. Aaron Jones. Jordan Mason. I'm big on Jordan Mason. I know Martin's big on Jordan Mason. Let's check wide receiver. Defenses. We can get the best kicker. We got a tight end. We do have a tight end. Let's get the best kicker. Ooh. And we're going to go defense. We'll go Broncos defense. I should have went Philly. Maybe Philly or Minnesota, but we're going. We're just keeping this ball going. Jonah Coleman, absolutely. We love Jonah Coleman. We're excited for Jonah Coleman. We're just rushing through this because it's going to go fast, but at the same time, I think we need to get used to picking and get used to some of these other names that we might not know. Do you have room? I think we can get another QB. Right? We got time. We'll wait on QB still. Let's go wide receiver or running back. It's Singleton. Let's see. Jalen McMillan. Trey Harris. Okay. We'll go Travis Hunter. I'm excited for Travis. Let's see. We'll go Nicholas Singleton. Let's see. Big on Cam Ward. We're taking Cam Ward. Jalen Wright, Trey Harris. Can't go wrong with Trey Harris right there. 2 Chargers wide receivers. Troy Franklin's right there. And Pat Bryant. Are we gonna? This is where we got to decide on how we stand on Troy and Pat. We've been saying it. We're still riding with Troy. I mean, I love Pat, but I've been saying it on my last few streams, guys. I'm very high on Troy. All right, this is our final pick anyway. Final pick, guys. Kenyon Sadiq is going to be the move easily. I like it. They give us a C. I like the moves. I liked the moves quite a bit. I thought the moves were solid. It was fun. I don't know if we're going to experiment with some of these other draft tailors and stuff too. Let's see, Fantasy Upside, JK, all those guys. All right, guys, let me close that out. Yeah, if you got any comments or questions, guys, let me know. We got another show coming on tonight, well, later today, so that's going to be fun. Let me close this out. Yeah, we have another show with our fellow fools from the AFC. I'll pull up their pages real quick so I could show you. Superchargers Pod right here, guys. Go check out our guy right here. Let me make it bigger. Yeah, we're going to be doing a show bi-weekly during the season, once every 2 weeks, with Superchargers Pod and our good friend 401 Raider Jeff. He's going to be doing the bulk of the work with this show, and I appreciate his help, taking the lead. It really does help me as I'm so young and new to all this, stuff. Whereas if you see, the man has been doing work for years, like he's been putting in work. Let's check his channel. Let's see. 2024. Yeah, so he's been doing this for about 2 years now. So, cheers to Jeff. And the man's on all these platforms. Look at all this. The man is everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Kick. Man, congrats, Jeff. I didn't know you got motion like that. Motion is a word that the kids like to use, Jeff. That means hip or cool, I know, yeah, Jeff is so prehistoric, guys. He remembers when the Raiders won Super Bowls. Can you believe that? That's how prehistoric he is. But we love Jeff and our friend Stefan at Superchargers Pod. So stay tuned for that, guys. The Fools broadcast is going to be fun. Just us and Jeff and Stefan. There's no one stepping up to the bat to defend the Chiefs. So anything we say about the Chiefs is going to stand until someone comes in and defends the Chiefs. But Jeff and Supercharger, they have more subs than us, and part of us, what we're going to do is collabing. Is we're going to try to spread the subs, spread the love amongst each other, and see if we can get some of our subs spreading each other's way and helping each other out. So yeah, go check them out. It would mean the world if you go check them out because I love their work and they do great work. Again, that'll be at Superchargers Pod, guys. Go check him out. And then he'll be 401 _ Raider _ Jeff. Go check out Raider Jeff. Man's killing it. And he's going to be taking the lead with our AFC bi-weekly show. That will go away when the season ends, of course. So, yeah, go check out Jeff. And again, go check out Goonsville, guys. I don't have to tell you again. Go check out Goonsville. And again, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and on X. Guys, we're on all these platforms. And, of course, here on YouTube. We're here on YouTube. Go check us out. We continue to normalize late night sports talk one show at a time. We continue to prove that being still up and being up for the late night sports crowd isn't just a gimmick. It's something that's here to stay. It is currently 3:35 a.m. Mountain Time, guys, and we're still going for another 20, 30 minutes. If you have comments, questions, let me know. I want to know how you guys are feeling. We're going to keep doing more and more with our scripts, with our shows. We want to start doing our 10-minute monologues, start each show. We're going to keep stacking interviews, guys. We've already had a beat reporter, which is crazy. I would have never thought in my life that I would have had a Broncos beat reporter on my show, let alone that I would have a show and that we have had a Broncos beat reporter. That's incredible. So thank you, Luca. I hope you get a chance to watch this, or I don't know if you got 2 hours of your day to waste on this, but congratulations, Luca. I hope you have a great time. I'm wishing you the best in San Fran. First drink's on me when you're here in Vegas. Maybe you'll come out for Summer League or something. Just know that first drink is on me, man, and we'll hang out. I'll take you to all the cool spots here in Vegas. Besides that, man, if you need anything, just let me know. I'm here for you. Again, guys, do me a favor. Come like, comment, subscribe. We continue to grow every day, every other day. We get 1 or 2 more subs, which is incredible. The last 2 days, we've gained a sub each day. which is awesome. We're going to just try to go and keep going every day, every other day. We might come back on tomorrow just to do it. I may go live for a second show or a third show today just to do it because I'm that excited, and might recamp camp tonight. So that's what we will do. Honestly, I'm really leaning into it. So I think we might do this is our first show of Monday. Our second show of Monday will be our show with the Fools, and then our third show we might just hit as a Tuesday morning show. Maybe go live at like noon, or 11, like I want to, 11, 12, like I want to, and we will just do it. I'm thinking about that, guys. I think it'd be fun to do. So if anything, we'll just pay attention to today at camp, and maybe we'll recamp today's camp day. So whatever happens today at camp, we'll recamp. We'll recount and then recap, and we will just come back tonight, and we'll do it right back all over again because we'll be home. So maybe we'll go live tonight early. I think that's something we'll do, is we'll go live early. Sounds good with me if it sounds good with you guys. And yeah, guys, so we got more that we want to do in the future, like with the producing and stuff, like with what we want to pull up on screen, things we want to do in the future. But every day it's a little bit of progress. I think we've made some astonishing progress. Again, I could have never thought we'd have a beat reporter on the show ever. And that's our best going interview. If you check the interviews of all of them, let's see. I guess Corey's has a few more views by like 4. Let's see. Mario is at 80. Point is I think based off of how the stats are going, Luca's interview is going to surpass the other interviews pretty soon. And we love Jay, we love Mario, we love Corey and Dak. We're grateful for them for all coming on, and but we're grateful for Luca too, and him giving us some of his final time with the team to us, which is a big thing that we're grateful for. So thank you, Luca. Yeah, guys, we're only on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Soon we're going to add more. Yeah, soon we're going to add more things on here in terms of like we'll add a Patreon. We'll probably add a Discord or something. We'll see. I'm on Discord, so maybe I'll add a Discord link for the members. That's what we'll do, is a members-only Discord probably. I think that's something that I'm interested in, is doing a members-only Discord, members-only stream once every few weeks. Yeah, guys. So I kind of got known as that 24-hour guy, but I haven't done a 24-hour show in like a week or two now. So we're not doing 24-hour shows until we feel like it's something we have time for, or it's something we want to do for a good cause. 24-hour shows were just to really show people that we're here, get our name out, really show people who we are, what we do. Besides that, guys, we're more all about just talking sports, staying up late at night, normalizing late night sports talk. So, these late night shows, that's going to be our bread and butter. Our watch alongs, bread and butter right there. The interviews, bread and butter. We're going to keep stacking interviews. That's what I want to be known for, is late night shows, weekend watch alongs, and then good interviews. Good interviews that we can air on the late night shows, then drop separately after. That's what we did with Luca. That's what we're going to do with this next guest. And then there's another guest who's a Broncos creator, but I'm not going to say much because I want this guy to take his vacation and get a break from everything that comes with all this stuff. So we'll get to that guy when he gets back from vacation. And you guys will love him because he's a fan favorite. Everyone loves the guy, and he's awesome. The man is setting the standard for what it means to be an online creator. Besides that, yeah, guys, so we're going to probably sign out in about 15 minutes. I can't believe I had no background music playing this whole time. Normally I have the background music playing for you guys, and usually I try to keep it the most recent music too. There it is. All right. We'll see. I hope you hear that. All right. So I hope you guys hear that. That should have been in the background, but normally I try to keep the background music as what I just most recently used in the late night vibes episodes. So maybe we'll put another one of those out this week as well. We'll get another one of those late night, vibes out in the next day or so, but I think we'll go live tonight. We're off today. So today's our only day off. Why not go live and spend it live? Keep trying to grow the sub base. We're creeping on 150. We are slowly creeping up on 150, guys. So maybe I'll definitely hit another stream tonight. When I sign off, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I think I'll schedule the stream, and we'll put it up there, and we'll go live at what will be midnight Mountain Time. So 11 o'clock my time, which is crazy because I'll be live at 7 o'clock my time for at least 1 or 2 hours with Jeff and Stefan, and then I'll come right back on just a few hours later. But that's fine. I think it's going to be it's okay. We'll spend our one day off, focus on the channel, getting some good content out this week for you guys. We took that weekend break. We needed it with the show and with the overtime. We needed a little bit of a break. I'm learning that sometimes it's okay to step away from the computer and stay away from the computer for a day or two, or not necessarily a day or two, but if it means staying away from it, not touching it for most of the day, and when you do pop on, get something quick done, but then step away again. I'm learning that at times being in the studio and at the computer too much can really be a little stressful, at least at my point, because with how little my knowledge is on how some of this editing and how all this stuff goes, or some of the analytical side of the ball, like the ball talk, when it comes to the stress of that side, while also still trying to run the channel and have a normal life, I continue to get better and manage it all for sure. But yeah, guys, we'll keep getting better. And if you're watching right now, I see you watching. Do me a favor. Go subscribe. You see it right here. We're going to do another stream tonight. We're going to do one at 7 o'clock Pacific time. 7 o'clock Pacific time. And then we'll be doing one probably at what will be 11 o'clock Pacific time, which will be midnight Mountain Time. We're going to schedule it right after we end this stream. We're actually going to schedule that, because I think that's going to be a good one, because it's my day off. I want to give you guys another one, and I like to try to go earlier. Like on days when I'm off, like normally I would have been off, so I would have went live at like midnight or a little earlier. But because I chose to work today, I did not have that luxury. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a stream. I'll end this stream, and then I will schedule a stream for tonight. And we will hit episode 23 back to back with 22. And we'll immediately react to some of our notes from this episode and see if we did get that update on any. We'll see if we did get that update on, let's see, who else? Let's see, we need to update on any. We need an update on Luke Wattenberg. Maybe we'll see how Mims is doing. We'll get another look at Waddle. This is why we'll do a reaction tonight for sure. So we'll post that, and that's what we'll do. So we'll get that taken care of. If you guys are joining me, thank you for coming on to Sill Up Sports. Thank you for joining me. We normalize late night sports talk here. And while we have had a great interview with Luca, we're going to keep stacking them. Great people, all that. You got to take your shots. And for the record, guys, as we kill these next like 8-9 minutes, I will add that I never once wanted to do this. I never thought about wanting to do this or create a channel. To me, it only became a necessity when I started getting off work at midnight, and I had no one to talk sports with, no live sports outlet that offers you engaging sports talk. That's why we're going to bring the Google Voice, so you can leave a voicemail and call in and bring your discussion to us. and that way we can continue to get more attention and get more people to come subscribe and get more people to come hang out with us as we talk sports in the latest hours of the night, to be there for the sports fans who work late, who this is their best time to take in some sports content. And I don't care how small it is and how small it stays, it's going to grow one day, and I'm going to ride with it until that day happens. So we're going to keep going with this. Personality will get better, writing will get better, animations, graphics, all that stuff going to keep getting better. Big thing, guys, is like you see it right here, we have a countdown timer. That one, we're going to replace that. Like you see it right there, it's pretty basic, nothing really. We're going to have a countdown timer made. Our lady that does our graphics, she's going to start brainstorming that on Monday. So today, later today, she's going to start brainstorming that. And, eventually we'll have a specific custom countdown clock for us, which is going to be really cool. So, I'm excited for that. Our graphics look cool. Our studio looks cool. There's so much for us to grow into. I think we've done a good job. In our few months, I think we've really stepped onto the scene. We've proven that we can be that guy up at the latest hours of the night talking sports. Not because I want to, but because I feel we need to. Because we need to talk sports in the late night. We have to be there for the fans who work or are getting off work when we do, or at these hours of the night, who are ready to get their sports fix, who are going to be asleep when all these great shows air during the day. So we're going to do this again tonight. We're going to bounce back, and we're going to do a show reacting to everything that happened at camp today and see if we got our updates on stuff from our notes today. Because there's a lot of things in there that we're excited to talk about, and see if we get updates on. And I think that that's our best bet right there, is just talking about that and reacting to it, because it's my only day off, so why not? I'll schedule it earlier too, so we'll be going live literally around midnight Mountain Time for sure. I'll put it on the docket, and I'll schedule it right after this stream ends. And I'll put it in the description and everything, so it'll be ready to go. Because why not spend my only day off just streaming a bunch anyway? So that's what we're gonna do. And again, we changed the camera angle, guys. Hope you like the new camera angle. Keeps you really in here with me, get you close in here. We can talk more, so that's kind of fun too. And yeah, so when we have our guests on air, guys, when we get these guests back, whether we pre-record with them or we air it after the fact, or they come on air with us, either way, it's going to be fun. I'm going to try to get some of our bros back, of course, back onto the show. Let's see. I'm going to put some feelers out for sure. Sorry, I'm typing and sending out a message because I'm DMing one of our amazing friends and helpful content creators out there to see if maybe he'd like to come back on the program. So he is one of those people that is in that thing. It just depends on who it might be. But I'm going to put some feelers out, see if we can get another guy on this week. It'd be cool to have someone on this week. And if I have these guys that I've already had on, I'm going to try to make it a little more formal so we can get a little more out of this. So, some of those more questions about themselves as well. I try to like to think that while we can talk Broncos the whole time, we can also still talk a little bit about ourselves, because these viewers, they deserve to know about you more than just you talking about sports. All right. Yeah, guys, thank you for showing up with me. We just sent that DM. Sorry, I had to send that DM. It's like when you're driving and you're looking for something, so you have to turn down the radio. Similar. All right, guys. Yeah, it's been a fun show. Our amazing friend earlier. Pull her up real quick. Her, him. Ihul Karingal. Either way, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Helping us grow one sub at a time. We're just trying to grow. Small little creator, just trying to grow. Who knows what we'll grow into, where we'll be next year. Either way, I'm pretty proud and excited of where we've gone and where we're at, guys. Yeah, and there's so many fun discussions we had today, talking about Davis Webb, talking about, Riley Moss, Pat Bryant, talking about all these guys, Jonah Coleman, talking about the D-line. Again, guys, I would say my big takes for what to look forward to this weekend or this upcoming week with this preseason game. Keep an eye out on Jonah Coleman. Watch how he's handling the contact. Keep an eye out for Pat Bryant. See how he's looking. Keep an eye out on Riley Moss for what time he is out there. Keep an eye out on Riley Moss. See how he's defending the ball, see if he's changed much. Keep an eye out for Davis Webb's play calling. That's something to keep an eye out for. And then keep an eye out on that D-line, that starting D-line, and see who's in the rotation and see what kind of impact whoever it is having in that rotation. We'll get some updates today, and we'll do a show again later tonight to recap what happens from camp today as we really lock in for this season. So we'll be back later for our AFC West Fools, bi-weekly show. And then besides that, we will be back same time tonight almost, except it'll be an hour earlier. So we'll be back around midnight Mountain Time for our episode 23 to recap this last today's practice that's about to happen. All right, guys, thank you so much for popping by with me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being still up with me, guys. Still Up Sports again. We are on multiple platforms, guys. If you are just now watching, just now joining, or watching after the fact, please help me and come over here to YouTube and subscribe. Help me reach 500, because when we reach 500 subs, I will go skydiving. So help me hit 500 subs. When we reach 500, I go skydiving. That will go on the channel when it happens. But yeah, we're on YouTube, guys. This is the profile. We're on X. Right here. Yeah, we're on X, we're on Instagram, and we're on TikTok. So feel free to support on any platform. Come hang out with us. And yeah, guys, it's always a vibe here at Still Up Sports. Again, my name's Cody Chapa. Thank you for coming to Still Up Sports. Go support our friends at Goonsville. And you know what, guys? I'll see you guys later tonight. We're going to just go back to back, and we'll be back for episode 23 later tonight. Thank you, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Again, you know what? Like, comment, subscribe, guys. All right. You guys have a great night. See you guys later. Peace.